So today's video is a conversation I've been wanting to have for a very long time now, and it largely affects, should I say, Africans? I'm in Ghana, and it's a narrative that seems to be very prevalent in Africa, in Ghana, in my country, and it's very weird, and it seems like it's increasingly beginning to be lauded. Now, I'm hoping by the time I'm done editing this, I actually do find the video that I'm hoping to use for this.
80% of my daily messages coming through my personal mail or my inbox are people asking me for jobs. However, they're not, I wouldn't say they're not willing. Do they have the capacity to do the jobs we're asking them to do? I really don't know. In recent times, I've been trying to find an answer to this, and sometimes I feel like, it's the educational system, it's the upbringing, it's, like a mixture of everything. But
there's this ongoing narrative that is the youth of Ghana are lazy. It is a very, very weird narrative, and I don't like it, and I don't think it should be supported. And I'm not saying this because I am part of the demographic that's being affected or being cited in this particular conversation. I am saying this because I don't think it is a narrative that should be supported, because in truth, it is an unfair description of said group. Now, take into consideration that, all kinds of people say this. The rich, the poor, like it cuts across. There are several groups of people who talk about this. So there's no way to actually just say there's only this group that says that. So that's why it's a very interesting conversation. It's a much needed conversation. Now, with the passage of time, there's an increase in the population. And with an increase in the population, the chances of getting a piece of the pie of prosperity doesn't inherently reduce, but the gateway is so flooded with people trying to push their way through that it ends up causing or plugging the hole, causing traffic. You understand? I hope you understand this illustration. So we have situations where if you ask many people, the prerequisites to a successful life that our parents and many people in society, or the elderly people in society at the time, sold to us, the prerequisites be go to nursery, go to kindergarten, go to basic or primary school, go to high school, go to uni, and your life is all but assured, is actually, unfortunately, a bit of a fallacy in Ghana specifically. Because, unfortunately, there are not enough jobs supplied by the public and private sector in terms of companies to match or meet the outpouring number of students. Different companies, especially some people in the private sector, argue that the students being turned out or churned out of our educational system do not have the capability to properly execute these jobs. Okay, that's fair. However, the government says that entrepreneurship is the answer to this conundrum. Now, inherently, that is not wrong. That is actually true, because majority of Western countries had such an outstanding boom in prosperity when the little man fought for their own cake and created businesses that affected people's lives, made people's lives better. That if you think about the Amazons, if you think about the Microsofts, the Teslas, all these things are people, not governments, that actually decided to make a change and try and do something with their life. But the truth is that in as much as entrepreneurship is the way, there are certain infrastructural prerequisites for entrepreneurship to actually take off. You ask yourself that, are all the infrastructure required available, easy, And unfortunately, the answer is no, because think about it this way. To start up a business, if we are taking Ghana as which we are painting a picture using Ghana, majority of the population is not very well to do, probably maximum middle class. And to execute or create a business, you need funding. Some of you out there will say, go and ask your family make this and stuff like that. Go and try that. Try it and let us know how many of you have been successfully able to acquire the funding you need to execute your dream. The funding you need without any ties. Because that's the truth. In the West, there's a lot of what we call venture capitalism. In tandem with venture capitalism, there's angel investing, where someone would just be willing to kind of take the financial parts and even give you advice on how to make your business successful. By venture capitalism, they see a potential in your business and then they put in the funds and everything. And if it sinks, it is what it is. It didn't work out. We did what we could. It just didn't work out. That doesn't exist here. In Ghana, most of the time you would have to go and take a loan that you have to pay. Now, let me tell anybody out there, this is my advice to you. I'm sorry if it feels like I'm ruining your dreams, but especially in the tech field, I would never advise you to take a loan to do business in tech, unless you're selling products and stuff like that. But if you are creating a service or whatever, do not never do that. Never take a bank loan saying that, oh, I have an idea for a ride-hailing app, so I'm going to do that. Don't do that, because the companies that are your competitors, their budgets for just marketing is more than the one you went to take as a loan. Never do that. Anyway, to not get too feisty and upset, there's this continuous narrative that the youth of today are lazy, and unfortunately, I don't agree with that. Are some of us lazy? Yes. Are some of us hardworking? Yes. Are some of us impatient? Yes. Are some of us too laid back? Yes. There's such a myriad of temperaments in the youth, and it is true for you, the elderly, when you were our age. Now, the reason why this thing really upsets me is because the video I'm talking about, well, there's this lady.
Technically, I would say that, and listen, this is my honest truth. I feel like 80% of the youth right now are a bit lazy.
Oh, wow.
They are? Yes.
Wow. Why would you say that?
Because, listen, I work 6 days. I run my own business. This is our 12th year of doing this, right?
Wow.
Okay. And I work 6 days a week.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I work 6 days a week. And this is supposed to be my own business. However, I am more concerned at the end of a month about the salaries I have to pay. So why am I working more than everybody else when everybody else has a day off?
Right.
This is my own business. And the people who are supposed to be doing the work for us to have the money to pay them are either complaining about, there's always an excuse, but maybe if everybody owns a business like me, which will be impossible, maybe they'll understand why they need to go out and work, or I really can't put a finger on what it is. Maybe you will help me, or everybody watching will probably have, and I feel like we're raised in a society where it gets to a point where we feel so entitled to certain things, like, oh, I'm working for her, so I'm supposed to get this, or at a certain time I deserve that, and so they work maybe say a year and over, and then they feel like I deserve a pay rise, or I deserve a position, or I deserve, and so then other things kick in. Forgetting that the person who has set up her business has worked over a period to get it there.
Here's the honest truth. And I can say this confidently because the work I do has given me the opportunity to see different types of people, been in different type of workspaces and offices. And I am a curious person, so I ask questions. Here's the truth. You don't pay them enough to care about your business. And all of us out there, all of us who are watching this video, all of us in Ghana who are wondering why Ghanaian service is bad, that's one of the major reasons. You don't pay them enough to care. You pay them only enough to show up. And even that, Because I remember I went out with a friend of mine, and we asked, I think one of the times I was having a conversation with some supermarkets, and I asked the guy how much the person makes, and the person was like, I make 400 cedis. So I was like, bro, would I even cover your transportation here every day? And I was like, there's this mentality in Ghana that so long as you have a job, you can figure it out. But if your job is going to, yes, I have a friend personally who is working somewhere, and he did a calculation for his fuel expenses, and it's more than for the month, it's more than his salary. And I was like, bro, then when you still go to work? And he's like, his parents will not allow him to stay in the house because they're like, you figure it out. And I'm like, okay, so your parents are more comfortable with giving you money to buy fuel to come to work than you sit at home. That's okay if that's how they feel. That's what, but at the end of the day, do they still realize that you're still wasting money? Because the time for you to get a raise or stuff like that might never happen. It was in a government institution. I'm like, I'm not saying that his parents are wrong in that particular case, but I'm saying that the truth is that pay is not good. And unfortunately, it's not the fault of the businesses, because the Ghanaian market is way too niche, way too small for us to give high pay. I get it, but what I'm saying is that do not sell this narrative. I mean, you might not know who might be interested in coming to set up a business in Ghana. That you're out here talking about the Ghanaian youth are lazy. Also, I'm coming for you HR people. Why are you like that? Why do you do that? Like, why is it that a company coming from outside the country that has already set its budgets, that, okay, we are willing to pay $1,000, $1,500 for this role, and they tell you that, okay, do the hiring process, and you tell them that, oh, this job, they got 2,000 Ghana cedi. What the hell is wrong with you? I'm surprised that the Ministry of Work and Housing is not attacking these HR people, because at the end of the day, if these people are paid the $1,500 and it's changed to Ghana, it will be paid and changed into Ghana cedi, and then the government can actually get proper income tax from that. But you have your government is taking income tax from this multinational, their workers, and they are taking 2,500 Ghana cedis, so and the government really has to take income tax of 2,500 when you could have potentially been taken from like 12K or 15K. Do you understand what you're doing? Like, I've been around, I've seen a lot, and I'm telling you. And if you have a business, I'm sorry. I know times are hard. I know it's not easy, but I'm just saying it as is. If you have a business and the items in your business, damageable items in your business, one of them is more expensive than your workers' pay, check yourself. Especially if you have no insurance on those items. Because I have seen, I have heard, I know people who worked at a place where the things around them was more than... I know someone who broke something where she was working, and it was 3 months of her pay, and she was broken for 3 months. Do you understand that? And you are telling me, and after all this, you are telling me that the Ghanaian youth are lazy. You pay me only enough to show up. You don't pay me to come here with a smile. You don't. And I get it. It's because the business is not as successful as it would be if our market was bigger. But at the end of the day, do not sell this narrative anyway. Do not. And HR people, do better. Do better. Let Ghanaians earn the money they should earn, especially in the tech field. Yeah, I'm a bit heated. If I continue, I'll probably just be a bit too upset. But yeah, the narrative that Ghanaian youth are lazy, I think is something we should stop. Let's stop that. It's absolutely nonsense. You can say it in your head. I mean, it is true. Some of us are lazy. I'm not going to deny that. But don't do this, guys. Don't do this without taking account up for yourself. I mean, if your worker is, let's say if you have a cleaner and you pay your cleaner 5K or saying this day, okay, cool, we have some talk about. But if you pay your cleaner 600 Ghana cedi and you feel like you're doing the most, then man, then just keep quiet. Yeah. Okay. Let me know how you guys feel. The youth, I'm sure you let me know. The elderly, let me know how you feel. At the end of the day, there's a duality to the conversation. Most businesses in Ghana are not making as much money as they could, so they can't pay you as much. But in that light, means that many people are not working with because if I'm only earning enough to get me here and I can't even have lunch on my salary, it's crazy. I'm not going to be happy. I'm not going to be the best at my job. There are certain unique people who do the job diligently, but you need to understand the masses. But yeah, let me know how you feel. Jump in the comment section. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe. Catch you guys in the next one. We go cross, Shani. Peace.